15 MLB games today, and we are going to be going through the best player prop bet. So we say this all the time, but as a sports bettor, you constantly need to be looking for good bets, right? It doesn't matter if you're looking for middles, arbitrage bets, positive EV bets, whatever it is, right? The sports betting market, just like the stock market, is dynamic. These odds are constantly shifting around as sharp action comes in. So the more you're looking for good bets, the more good bets you're going to find, right? It's not like you can look at baseball odds for 5 minutes a day and find a ton of good bets. That's not how it works. You need to be constantly looking for value as a sports bettor. So for example, I'm currently on the OddsJam Positive Expected Value page, right? This tool, there's no fluff, no BS. All it shows you is data-driven sports bets, right? Constantly scanning the markets, looking for inefficiencies in sharp MLB bets for you. So we can see the highest profit margin bet currently available is in the Rockies Diamondbacks game. So Brendan Rodgers over 1.5 bases is the positive EV bet, right? You can see the positive profit margin, 3.12%. is on the top row, so you just scroll over, you look for the bet in bold with a circle around it. So Brendan Rodgers over 1.5 bases. So what I typically like to do next is just click into the odds and really just try to see, am I getting a true pricing discrepancy, right? We can see that Pinnacle Sportsbook, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, the most efficient betting market, under this OddsJam column, they're pricing this as a pretty big favorite, right? All the way up at minus 130. DraftKings and Caesars are also close to minus 130, so it's pretty clear, right? FanDuel is the outlier, setting the line at minus 105. So, we've kind of said this before in other videos, but as a sports bettor, right, it's critical to look for value. It's literally so important. If you're placing bets at minus 130 on DraftKings when another sportsbook in your state is giving you minus 105, you're screwed from the beginning. You always need to be getting value as a sports bettor. And you can think about it, it's kind of just like playing the field correctly, right? If you had to buy a stock $10 higher than everyone else did, you're probably not going to be a profitable stock picker, right? You always need to be looking for value. If you're placing bets at minus 130, when another sportsbook in your state is giving you minus 105, you're literally screwed from the beginning, right? You're getting terrible prices. You always need to be looking for value as a sports bettor. And on OddsJam, any odds you want to compare, any player props, money line, whatever it is, it's completely free. You can browse odds on OddsJam from the sharpest bookmakers and really look for value, right? If you want to bet on the Diamondbacks today, you're betting at minus 115 on BetOnline. So regardless, we found this true pricing discrepancy, 3.12% profit margin, which we can explain here in a second, and we're staking 150, right? So you can see my bet here on the screen, 150 bucks, 3% profit margin. So our bet has, 3% times 150, 468 in EV or profit margin or edge, right? There's a lot of terms for this, profit margin, edge, EV, however you want to consider it. This number's positive. It's a mathematically profitable bet, right? And your goal really as a sports bettor is to place as many positive EV bets as you can on a daily basis. Doesn't really matter if you're betting on, tennis, MMA, baseball, doesn't frickin' matter, right? You have to be getting value as a sports bettor and getting above average market prices, which is exactly what OddsJam shows you, right? This Brendan Rodgers bet is a true pricing discrepancy. Out of the millions of odds on sportsbooks, there aren't that many true pricing inefficiencies. But OddsJam is kind of constantly scanning the market, updating in real time. And as, sharp action comes in, players get injured and the odds move around, you can use this software to find sharp, profitable bets in these inefficiencies, right? So the sharpest bookmaker is pricing this all the way up at minus 130 on the over 1.5 bases, and the under, is minus 102. So he's favored to go over 1.5 bases. So this calculator on OddsJam is very important, a no vague fair odds calculator. And what this calculator does is it takes a sportsbook's market, right? So we put in the market from Pinnacle, the sharpest, most efficient betting market. So what this calculator does is it takes the sportsbook's market, removes the juice, removes the spread, right, to show you the true odds in the true win probability for your bet, right? The way that sportsbooks work, they're fair betting markets. They're efficient betting markets. They're taking millions of dollars of bets, and they're constantly adjusting, moving around their odds to try to balance flow on both sides. It's a fair betting market, right? If Kyrie gets injured, I don't know if a Nets example works anymore, but if Kyrie gets injured, right, lines are going to move against the Nets. That information is absorbed into the market, and the line will move against the Nets, maybe from minus 200 to minus 130, whatever, right? So you can use sports betting odds to kind of back out what is the win probability for my bet. So we're putting in the betting market from Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker. We're removing the juice, removing the spread, and we see that the fair line is minus 111. And on FanDuel, we bet this minus 105, right? So we got better odds than the true odds, which is exactly what you want as a sports bettor. Every day, my goal when I wake up is really just place as many positive EV bets as I can. And I'm essentially forming my own hedge fund of profitable bets, right? WNBA, whatever, I'll bet on it if there's value. So this bet has a 52.82% win probability. We're betting at minus 105 odds. So if you stake $100, your bet has $3.12 in profit margin, which is the EV percentage you can see here. And we're staking 150, so our bet has 469 in EV, which you can see here with slight differences due to rounding. So again, mathematical, data-driven sports betting, you'll win in the long run. There will be variance. You'll still have losing streaks, but you'll win in the long run, right? And that's what matters as a sharp sports bettor, right? Finding these inefficiencies and taking advantage of them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Any questions you have about positive EV betting, profitable sports betting, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Let's make some money.